And welcome to your foam roller and TheraBand Body Love session. So today with the roller, you'll want to have a heavy band option and a light band option. You might have a couple just in case you want to increase or decrease the resistance for your preferred challenge. So we'll start today sitting on the foam roller in a comfortable way. So it might be seat down, feet down, like this. We could sit crisscross, maybe soles of the feet together like a butterfly position. So see what feels good for your body. And what we're gonna do first is kind of organize the body to where you can feel comfortable on top of the roller. We'll start with a lightweight band. So this is extra light. Also light is good. What we're aiming to do is really start to warm up the shoulders, specifically the deltoid. Side deltoid, back deltoid would be great. So that's why we're going for the lighter band so that we can get a bit more tension on the band itself. Before we get going with that, let's just start with our core connected breathing. So we want to remind ourselves of what breath really assists the balancing of the core. And for BAM, we like to practice inhaling through the entire spine and really creating this internal support feeling from within. So on your inhale, I'm going to have you breathe into especially the back side of your spine and ribs. So inhaling, feel how the back body expands. Now keeping that expansion, exhale, maybe hugging the abdominals up and in. Inhale, expand the back. Exhaling, hugging in. Find that breath again. Now we're going to keep this breath going, but we're going to take it into nose breathing. Nice and light, low breath, sustaining this kind of expansive feeling. So in through the nose. Sustain the expansion of this back body out through the nose. In. Out. From the side, you will notice, if done properly, this should align your spine. So rather than being in this arched back, we should be in quite a neutral spine. Inhaling from the back. Exhaling through the nose. Sustaining that shape, that space, that line, rib to hip. Couple more. This inner core breathing, in through the nose, out through the nose, is what we're going to sustain for the majority of the workout. Let's begin with a little movement. Hands together, send the spine back like a sitting cat-cow. Arms will sweep, press down, lift up. Think about where your spine needs to move most from. If this position doesn't allow the low back to move, maybe feet out in front of you where you can roll your sitting bones back could be quite helpful. Hands on the knees can be lovely. So just a little spinal mobility. We're going to take this into some side body mobility. Again, find that core connection, internal core breathing for spinal alignment. Side to side, just taking a little mermaid, a little side bend, arm that reaches overhead. Try to rotate the elbow towards the nose so that the shoulder properly rotates in the socket, and the scapula, the shoulder blade, can make its rotation down and forward towards the side body to create happy, glidey, organized shoulder mobility. All right, one more time here. And we'll take it into a little rotation, maybe one hand to opposite knee, gazing back. Inhale, breath expands the spine. Warming up the body. The knees can always be wider if we got a baby here in our belly. All right, from here, we're going to just kind of take any more moments to get any more little wiggles out. Anything else that feels good, wrists, neck, shoulders. And then let's take that extra light to light band around the wrist, slightly higher if you're thinking about up the arm is higher than the wrists. All right, palms turn up, shoulders roll open. Again, find that core connected breath, that nice rhythmic breathing in the background. If sitting on the foam roller does not feel good, we can always come to our seat or onto a cushion. When you're ready, arms will come up, out, and around. So this is a great place to really allow the shoulder to roll back in the socket. It's kind of a nice, gentle shoulder position. We're thinking of wide collarbones, but also wide scapula. Like your shoulder girdle is getting wide to the sides as you're maintaining your rib to pelvic position, as well as your head. Your head, your ribs, and your pelvis should stack in this beautiful line, ear over rib over hip, nose in alignment to sternum, belly button, and pubic bone from the front. Reverse those circles. So we want to get some pretty good width. So if this is too easy, you would go to a little bit heavier. So for me, I might progress to a light. If it was a little challenging, see if you can go to an extra light if you were at a light. The goal is that we don't go just this wide, because that's going to kind of maintain more of that anterior deltoid or front shoulder. We really want to access the wider back part of the shoulder. Okay, after we've done several circles either direction, let's make the number 11, or these kind of elevator door-like shaped arms. Shoulders slide down, head draws back. If you have a mirror, it's really nice from the side or to the front to make sure you're maintaining those lines. Let's breathe again. I like to inhale during the emphasizing work. So I'm going to breathe into my low back as I pull those arms apart. Nose breathing if possible. And again, notice if there's any discomfort in the shoulders, lower the resistance, maybe lower the arm position. Turn the palms up, that'll roll the shoulder into external rotation, which might help to clean up any pops, clicks, or discomfort. If possible, staying in this elevator door. Okay, try not to let the elbows go back. Keep those elbows shining forward so that we really stay in that external rotation. Let's go for 3. Should be feeling some good heat in the shoulders now. Here's 2 and 1. Take a little break. Whew. Big breath in, diagonals now. Arms out in front. If possible, straight arms, diagonal reach. Diagonal reach. So as you're here, as you're diagonally reaching, really try to maintain that head over rib over pelvic alignment. Try to feel those, again, collarbones wide, shoulder blades wide, that rhythmic breath in the background. Palms open, fingertips really reaching, very helpful here. We'll go for just 3. Good. 2, you'll notice I'm going into internal and external rotation. External of the arm that goes up, internal of the arm goes down. Last one. And relax. You should feel pretty hot in those shoulders here. Shake them out, roll them out. Take a deep breath, neck roll, anything that feels good. From here, we're going to come to our bums. Back is on the foam roller. Okay, grabbing your heavier weight band around the knees. I'm going to slide that band up and rest the upper back onto the roller. So the upper back, kind of like where the shoulder blades would be, that'll be really some nice support. Look down at your body. Try to, again, find that nose, sternum, belly button, and pubic bone alignment. Get the glute muscles maybe spread out of the way. Look for hip levelness. Widen the feet a little bit so you have a little tension in the band. And then let's take the hands behind the head, elbows in your peripheral, so that way the shoulders externally roll down, shoulder blades sliding down the side ribs. And we're just going to start with a little knee press out, just to kind of warm up those outer hips. Thinking about this as just like a little mini clam from the seat, from this back pelvic position. Notice if your feet kind of roll evenly on either side. Are you pushing out through both knees evenly? Now, if this is really easy, you can always put the second band around the shins. So to advance this, that second heavier band would go around the shin muscles, and all of a sudden, very much more work in those outer hips. Okay, so that would be the progression as you continue. When you are feeling some good heat, continue breathing, making sure that you feel that muscular tone, that level pelvic position. We're going to find tension in the band, curl the hips up just a few inches. The big thing is we don't really want the hips to go much higher than the heart. We would like the pelvis and the ribs to be aligned in that neutral position.
so that baby doesn't flip in utero, right? So we don't really want inversion exercises during pregnancy. Now, if you're postpartum, totally safe to go higher. Really open up those hips. All right, from here, little presses up with the pelvis and down. Stamping into the feet. Really notice, are your feet pointing straight ahead and are they evenly wide? Knees, are they evenly pressed out as well? We're gonna start to get a little bit of heat in the hamstrings and the glutes. As you go up and down, keep your pelvis and your hips in alignment so that we're not arching to go down. Trying to really keep that straight line. Find that core breath. Breathe into the back body on the inhale. Keep tracking the neck with your own hands. Feel the shoulders slide down in opposition. Come up and hold up at the top, and let's finish with one more round of knee press outs. Little thigh, outer hip, glute and hamstring work here. Stable pelvis, continued breath, supported neck for 5. Here's 3, 2, and 1. Hips come down, and you should feel a pretty good burn that you got there. All right, taking the bands off for just a moment. Let's take just a little moment to stretch our spine open. Extension with the breath in. Exhale, curve. So find where it feels good to be on your back. This is an excellent option, especially during pregnancy, because we have to limit the amount of time that we're all the way supine on our back. Having this angled posture prevents the baby from pushing down onto those really important arteries that line the spine, and what we can do is feel how the tummy's lower down towards the pelvic bowl, but we can still get that much needed stretch of the chest and movement through the thoracic spine. Let's take a few more breaths. You can always take a nice side breath out of the mouth. And then we're gonna side bend, so feet go a little wider for that base of support, and just take a little side to side action. This is such a good way to kind of mobilize the muscles in between the rib cage. Breathe into the side that's open. Breathe in and open like a balloon. Again, breathe in and open. You might take that pause on either side just a few more times. And then from here, gentle rotation up and down. Does not have to be big. We don't need to take this into a real big range of motion. Just getting a little movement. It might feel good to reach the arm out and reach. So just see what your body feels good doing here. We'll do one more. And then once you're balanced, roll to the side, use your strong arms, press yourself back up. And what we're gonna do next is come to an all fours position. I'm gonna take the lightweight band instead of the extra light band, but again, staying on maybe the lighter side. Light to medium would be acceptable here. All right, kneeling upright, we're gonna have the band slightly higher than the wrist again. Pull the hands nice and wide and place the hands on the foam roller. The knees will go back, the hips will go back, widen the knees so there's plenty of space for the tummy. And then what you're gonna do is putting energy in the heels of the hands, spreading the fingers, bend your elbows and pause. You'll notice that at the lowest part of my elbow bend, I'm still in pretty much neutral. I'm not in that inverted position. As I push down into my hands, I lengthen up through the elbows and we start our tricep push-ups. Trying to keep that neck in alignment to the center of the ribs. So our head's not dropping down. It's also not kicked up. You're trying to find that nice neutral position. Meanwhile, you should feel some good work in those triceps. Keep pressing into the heels of those hands. Keep the tension on that band. This can also be done off like the side of a couch or a little elevated box. Step. All right, 3 more just like this. Find that core breathing still. 2. Halfway down, hold. Elbows rotate in and out, almost like you're just flossing. You're rotating, like you're kind of twisting the palms, smearing your palms into the roller. Just feel how that feels in the socket. Should feel pretty good. 2 more. All right, last thing here. Maintain a slight bend in the elbow. You're gonna tap out with your right hand, out with your left. Little step outs. This again, really good shoulders. Wanna make sure those shoulders are nice and strong, especially because you're gonna be carrying a baby around if you're not already, and all of the good stuff that comes along with baby. So we want those arms to be so strong. Make sure that the ribs aren't sagging here. Breathe into the back body with your inhale. Hug your beautiful baby or your tummy that just held your baby up into your spine. You got it. Go for a few more. Tapping out and out. 3 and 2. Should feel the heat. If you really want some good work, lean back a little bit more. Hop, 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 hop. 3. Keep that back supported. 2, 1. Good. All right, maybe cat-cow. Maybe widen the knees and let that chest drop a little bit. The more the hips go back, the wider the knees must be, but that'll be a nice way to kind of get that chest stretch. Maybe sliding the shoulders up and down. And then from here, we're gonna let that foam roller slide to the side. And we're gonna come up to standing for a little bit of strong leg work from this up position. So again, heavier bands. Okay, depending on what you're really wanting to work, we can do a single band or a double band. Okay, so single band can go either around the shins or above the knee. If you're looking for a little bit more increased work as you progress, that can be where we double band shins and right above the knee as well. From here, you really, again, you want to think about the feet being a little wider than hips because we are using the band. So feet pointed straight ahead, hips are going to go back and we're going to find our first squat. Keep some tension in the band, press into the entire foot, both sides, big toe, pinky toe, ball, heel. And then from the side, you want to make sure you have that nice, again, clean line from your ear, through your rib, through your hip. Try to avoid the overextending of the lumbar spine. So hug the abdominals back by breathing into the back body. Then, as you find your breath practice, that inhale breath into the back, into the side ribs, let's start to move through our squats. So inhale breath, go down. Exhale. You're looking for symmetry. Those ribs right above the hips. Hips level, pushing evenly into the feet. When you go back, spread the sitting bones apart. Imagine that pelvic floor. We expand into the low back. We hug up and in. Okay, 4 more full range. Keep pressing your hips back, pushing into your feet really solid. Then, on your 4th one, hold your hips back, pause. Pulse those thighs out. Little butterflies from this squat position. You can do this. Breathe. If you need to come up, come up. Let's go for a few more. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And up we come. Whew. All right, legs come together. That band can come off, the band or the bands. And then from here, we're gonna come back down and we're gonna do just a couple more exercises on the mat. So the first exercise is a little side support with a hip press up. So I am going to have you release the bands all together, no need for the roller at all, and then you're gonna be on your side hip, forearm down, okay. So looking for that wrist, elbow alignment, and then elbow shoulder alignment. So you want to really push down through the knuckles. Roll that shoulder back. Your hip will be in alignment to your armpit. Head, you think nose, sternum, belly button, pubic bone, ear, rib, hip. The knees will go back a little bit so they're not too far forward. And then what's gonna happen, right? Especially with pregnancy or post-pregnancy, let's breathe into that low back so that we return our spine to neutral. Just through the breath. So take 2 breaths here. Breathe into that back space. Now prepare, push down through the arm, press down through the bottom knee, lift up, you might have to readjust. Your top leg is gonna kick out. Breathe into that back body, hold here and sustain for a moment. This top leg can always come down. You can put a prop between your inner thighs. If you would rather just hold here, you could put the foam roller here. Emphasize just holding your side support. Otherwise, to challenge here today, We're gonna lower, lift, press the leg out. Tap the hip, inhale into the back. Hug the tummy in, breathe into the back. That back breath will pull the abdomen in and keep your back safe. Kicking the leg out, look for that straight line. Strong arm pressing down. Long neck, if the neck becomes tired, look down to that forearm. We have 4 more. And 3, you can do this. 2, okay, hold on 1. Hold, can you circle? Can you circle for just a few more? Notice the neck, breathe, keep that low back supported, reverse. Reverse that circle. If you ever need support, you can put this foam roller under your hip too, okay? And now, throughout the entire pregnancy, even till right about ready to give birth time, you can do this with that little assist. Come down, whoo, come up. Notice how I'm just gonna zigzag my legs. That winded me. All right, think about that nice neutral pelvis. Maybe rotate that back hip up and down a couple times. And let's just kind of flow through a little bit of side stretching before we go to the other side. Okay, same thing, other side. Both the legs swivel. Foam roller can be close by if you liked it between the knees or underneath the hip for that support. Otherwise, forearm down, knees slide back. Push down with that arm, roll the shoulder back, get strong. Take a couple of those breaths. Inhale through the back, exhale, hug it in. Prepare yourself, prepare the mind. Come up, maybe hold, find your posture, be here for a moment. Then when you're ready, kick the leg and tap, press. All right, find the breath rhythm. Feel how your breath, when consciously focused, it is what tones the core and aligns the spine and balances the pelvic floor, reconditioning your entire system from the inside out with the emphasized inhale into the tight zones. For the majority of us that tend to have a little bit more arch in the low back, breathing into the low back can be super helpful. Okay, let's go 3, 2, you know the grand finale. Circle, see if you can stand here, stay here and circle just a few times. Remember that neck can look down. Reverse the circle. You've got this, stay strong. 2, 1, zigzag those legs, opposite direction. Moving the hip out of the way. Rotating that hip up and down. And take a couple flows. Coming back through center. Let's take one hand onto the heart, one hand onto the tummy. Take a couple psychological side breaths. So that's where we inhale through the nose. Sniff a little more. Exhale. Feels so good. Do that again. Inhale, breath. Sniff a little more. Exhale, sigh out the mouth. One more time. Roll those shoulders. Good job.